Shane here at Kumbachu. I just thought to do a little video on probably what I see as one of the most dynamic fodder trees we've got in our landscapes. This one here by the fence that's been cut off when we built the fence. Here's another one growing under a silky oak here, in association with some lantana that's going up the silky oak. And here next to this grandmother gum tree, the most awesome tree, we have a plantation of these guys under the gum tree. The said tree is actually, believe it or not, it is illegal to propagate these trees. Totally banned. You know, look at it under this old gum tree. Look at that. And you know, the amazing thing is, here we are, the 1st of October, and these trees are just glowing in the landscape. They're a classic example of, I guess, what I call now getting beyond the war on invasive species. This is classified as an invasive species. What a dynamic bloody fodder tree. You know, it's deciduous, so it drops a lot of stuff on the ground in the winter, and then come springtime, whether it rains or not, you've got this awesome green feed. Like, livestock love these bloody things. And I've just done a trip a little bit out west, not really out west, just to Springshaw, and from Kilkeven right out, the last of these I saw was on the Burnett River next to Widesville Station. And so they've covered a broad territory. They're down the highways, they're down the water lines. What an awesome tree. This is the magnificent Chinese elm. And it has become quite obvious to me in this landscape that the birds have not read the memo about it being illegal to propagate these guys. So the birds, of course, are coming and perching on the fence, perching on the silky oak tree, perching on the grandmother gum tree, and they're depositing these little bioactive bloody bombs that's producing us this awesome greenness in the landscape. You know, you've only got to look around and look at the brown in this landscape. Can you imagine, you know, really trying to fatten a cow on this amount of grass? This is the grass that's been slashed. You know, we've got spectacular kangaroo grass coming up here, and already in seed. One of the earliest natives out of the blocks in the spring, so it gets an absolute hammering from cattle. But look at this other stuff here. It's just like a field of bloody cardboard. You know, brown. There's green underneath, but a shitload of brown. And we swing around in the landscape. Here's another awesome bloody fodder tree. This is an ice cream bean. He grows above the frost line here. Totally abundant. Today I've got a school group turning up for 3 weeks, farm camp. So we put the obligatory welcome sign on the front gate and a warning about closing the gates due to sheep. But yeah, just pan around, look at these, the Chinese elm. They're bloody magnificent. We don't have to plant them. They come up on their own and they grow into this most awesome fodder tree, which we can let it go up, or we can do what I did with this sucker here when I built this fence earlier this year. Cut him off at ground level with a chainsaw and watch him come back up. watch the awesome amount of fodder he produces. So yeah, the Beyond the War and Invasive Species is an awesome book that I recently got into my library. It's by a lady called Dow O'Brien, and it's an American-centric book, but it's an awesome read. I tell people it's really today's version of Silent Spring by Rachel Carson, which was, you know, circa the 1960s. But yeah, like the amount of effort we spend on trying to kill things that want to grow in our environment. We just put bucket loads of bloody chemicals and effort into trying to kill things that want to grow, and we refuse to look at them and say, man, this is a resource. Can you imagine greening Australia with Chinese elm? How outrageous, how outrageous. Yeah, and it's just like, wow, you know, look at the grass growth. Look at the grass growth here, the volume compared with the volume that we have here. It'll fatten a cow, no worries. In the springtime, with no rain, you're assured of having green feed. And I tell you what, I just look forward to the day when these things are all over the farm, that they're unstoppable, and we know what to do with them. We can manage them. There's a simple chainsaw or a pruning saw, drop them on the ground, create another growth pulse, and away we go. Like, just fire the system up. What a way to re-green Australia. I leave it with you. Check them out. But remember, it's illegal to propagate these suckers, so you have to engage the birds to do the work for you, because they haven't read the memo. Bye bye.